Good morning, students. Today we are going to do with the last part of accounting equation. So these are the transactions that were left to be completed in this chapter, accounting equations. So we will start with one by one. Let us take a hypothetical question and start from when a business is there and already we have a cash of 4 lakh and a capital of 4 lakh. So now your first transaction is provide 10% interest on capital. Now what is interest on capital? Now see, though the proprietor is the owner of the business, but when we talk about business, it has a separate legal entity distinct from its owner. So when a person has invested money in the business and he has given his personal asset, he has to be given some certain interest on capital, because if you would have been borrowing from the bank, then bank would also have charged interest on that loan. So interest on capital, see, on one hand it's an expense for business because we have to pay it to the proprietor, and when whatever you are going to give to the proprietor, you have to do that adjustment in capital. So what is 10% of 4 lakh? It will be 40,000. So what you will do, since this 40,000 is an expense for business and all the expenses are deducted from capital, this 40,000 will be deducted from capital, and since this is the income of the proprietor, you are going to add it up in the capital. So your net adjustment both will be in capital only. 40,000 add because this is income of proprietor, 40,000 deducted because this is expense from the business point of view. Similarly, it says 5,000 charge interest on drawings. Now interest on drawings, when a partner has withdrawn something for the personal use, then he has to pay a certain sum of money to the business. So when a partner is paying interest on capital, interest on drawings, then that interest on drawings become income for the organization. So when an income for the organization is coming, it is added to the capital, and since this is an expense from the proprietor, you have to deduct it from the capital. So both the adjustments for interest on drawings and interest on capital are from capital only, because on the one hand they are the income of the proprietor and on the other hand they are the expense of the business. So both the adjustments for interest on capital and interest on drawings will only be in capital. So your accounting equation total is going to remain same, and your asset and liabilities are also going to remain same. After interest on capital and interest on drawings, there will be no change. Now the next adjustment is outstanding salary. Now what is outstanding? Now when your year ends, then there are certain expenses that are due and you have not yet paid. Like for example, you have already consumed electricity and received electricity bill, but you have not paid yet, or you have already taken the services of your staff and you have not given them salary. Now because since you have taken the services, now this is an expense of the current year, though it is paid or not, that's not important. But when an expense, when a service has been consumed, when a goods has been consumed, then whatever expense, it becomes the expense of the current year only, and all the current year expenses are to be deducted from capital whether they are paid or not. So when we say about talk about outstanding salary is 10,000. Now this 10,000, when it is salary paid, we used to deduct it from cash and we used to deduct it from capital. But now the salary is not paid, but since this is an expense to the organization, you will deduct it from capital. And when you have to pay money to outsiders, always it becomes a liability for the businessman. So your liability will also increase, that is outstanding salary, because we have to pay this amount in coming future, so it will become your liability. Say the next is accrued income is 15,000. As your outstanding as your expenses are outstanding, same way your income can also accrue, and which is not received. Say a company has a warehouse which was given on rent. Now the rent is accrued for 2 months, and the person who has taken it has not given it, and he says he'll give it later on. So this is the income because that person has already taken your has already consumed your services, but he has not paid amount. So this is the income of the current year. So when we talk about accrued income, since it is the income of the current year, you will add it to capital. And whenever money has to will come in the business, it becomes your asset. Now this accrued income, this money is going to come in near future. So accrued income is going to become your asset for the organization. So what will happen? Both the adjustments will be from capital, expense will be deducted and accrued income will be added. Accrued income will become asset because it can be realized in cash later on, and salary will become liability because you have to pay this amount in coming future. So your net amount will be 4,15,000 after doing this adjustment. The next adjustment is prepaid rent. Now there can be a situation when you are paying your expenses in advance. It can be because say you have to pay a rent and you are paying quarterly rent at the beginning of the quarter. So when you are paying this expenses in advance, so one thing is very clear, it is deducted from cash, and this expense is not of the current year. It does not belong to the current because you are paying it in advance. So you cannot deduct it from capital. From capital we deduct only the expenses which belongs to the current year, not to the next year. So this prepaid rent is not of the current year, it's of the next year. So on one hand it will be deducted from cash, and on the other hand it will become your asset, because in next year you will not have to pay this amount again, and this prepaid expenses can be carried forward. So on the one hand it will be deducted from cash, and on the other hand it will become your asset. Similarly, if you receive any income in advance, say the same explanation, say you have received warehouse rent in advance or commission received in advance. So when you are receiving something, you will add it in cash because cash is coming in. And now this is our liability. Incomes received in advance. Why do they become our liability? They become our internal liability for the next year, because this is the income which you have received now, but now you cannot treat it as your income and add it in capital, because this income is not of the current year, this income is of the next year. So what you will do, you will treat it as your liability for the next year. So any income received in advance or prepaid rent, both first treatment is from cash, and the second treatment, prepaid expenses, will become your asset, and income received in advance will become our internal liability for the next year. So it will be reflected on the liability side. The next is purchase stock for 45,000 from A. This we have already done. Stock will increase and your creditor will increase. Now this was linked to 22, so we have purchased stock because it was not there in the question. The second illustration is, question is, goods worth rupees 10,000 are destroyed by fire. Now see, we have already talked about risk in business studies, that whatever business you are running, there is always a possible of risk in that. Now when there is a risk, and to avoid or to eliminate it, will always take an insurance policy. So your goods may or may not be insured. So in that case, what you will do, now goods worth rupees 10,000 are destroyed by fire. Now this is your loss, and the insurance company has admitted that they are going to give you 6,000. So you lost goods worth rupees 10,000, but you are going to get 6,000 from the insurance company. So your net loss is only 4,000 that you have to bear, because 6,000 will be borne by the insurance company. So what will be your total effect? Now goods worth rupees 10,000 are being destroyed by fire, so they are going out. So your stock will get reduced by 10,000. Insurance has admitted a claim for 6,000. So this is an asset, because the insurance company is going to give you money in coming future. So insurance claim will become your asset for 6,000. Now the net loss of 4,000 will be deducted from capital. So whenever your goods are insured or not insured, whatever your loss is, your loss will be deducted from capital. Goods are destroyed, they will be deducted from goods. If an insurance claim is being received, then it will become your asset. Similarly, say goods worth rupees 20,000 are distributed as free sample. We do give free samples to our customers. So when goods are given as free sample, goods are going to be reduced and your capital is going to be reduced, because these are advertisement expenses. So similarly, you will face minor problems now when you will do your questions, and there will come certain transactions which you have not done, but then you will have to apply your brain, that whatever effect will be there. Almost every transaction we have already discussed. So after discussing this transaction, there are 22 different transactions that we have already done, and now you know how these transactions are going to affect the accounting equation. So what you will be doing now, you will get a assignment based on this topic and the earlier topics of accounting equation that we have already completed. There when you will attempt those questions, you might get one or two transactions which you have not done, but then I want you to use your brain, what is going to be the effect of those transactions that are coming in. And if you have done these 22 transactions very nicely, then you will be able, I'm sure you will be able to come up with those transactions and the effects you are going to do. So please complete your work on time by today, because now your work as you demanded has been reduced, and we are covering only 3 subjects per day. But that means that you are going to cover up the 3 subjects homework that are given on that day only. You are not going to linger on your work now. Okay kids, thank you so much.